Right now we are joined by Dr. Charles Zelden, a political science expert from Nova Southeastern University. Thank you so much for being here.
Glad to be here.
We saw Mitch McConnell budge a little bit by allowing one more day for the Democrats to make their case and for the other arguments. But other than that, you heard Natalie Brand report that these amendments are going down along party lines.
They are, and they're likely to. The thing to understand about a impeachment trial like this is there's a script for it. And everyone knows the script. And the script is likely to be followed unless there's an event that shakes it up. It could be an outside event, new information coming out. It could be an internal event, one of the members of the Republican majority getting worried about their reelection and budging on the issue of witnesses. But if nobody budges, if everyone sticks to the script they have in their hands now, this will be very short, very uninformative, very boring, and ultimately very useless.
So what's at issue here is new evidence and testimony of witnesses, as you mentioned. What are you making of the arguments presented today? What you were able to watch between classes?
Yes, it's. I think what the Democrats, the House managers are arguing is not that we need the Senate to redo the work of the House, but to listen to people who weren't made available during the impeachment hearings and to find out what the evidence is. If it's good for the president, great. If it's bad for the president, also great. But that we need to hear from these individuals who were there at the time so that we, the American people, know what's happening. The president's lawyers, on the other hand, are saying that's unnecessary. You had your chance. You should have done something about this. You should have sued. To which the Democrats replied, yes, but we'd still be in court waiting for them to come through. Again, it's the same argument has been made for weeks, even months, on both sides on this issue. What it ultimately comes down to is, what do we, the American people, want? Do we want to hear what happened? Do we want to know what happened? Or have we made up our mind and don't care, in which case it's a waste of time, why bother? And depending how the American people decide, well, in the end, this isn't about convincing the Senate. This is about convincing the American people for the 2020 election.
How important is this oath of impartiality? We keep hearing, oh, this is not a legal proceeding like a trial, this is a political process, but the senators still take that oath.
Yes, and quite honestly, if they don't abide by it, they are forsworn. They have made an oath, and they're not following through on it. The problem is that in a political realm, what it means to be impartial doesn't necessarily mean that you're not partisan. They feel they can be impartial, but take a partisan position. And truthfully, on both sides, they're partisan. They have a position, they have an understanding, they have a conclusion they want. The question is going to be, are we, the people, going to be able to see the process such that we can make up our minds? Again, in the end, the odds of the president being removed from office are very small. Right. But the odds of the president being affected by this come the election in November can be big or small, depending on what happens here.
Okay, so what do we expect the next few weeks as this all plays out?
Well, for the next couple days, they're going to continue to argue over procedures, laying out what sort of trial it's going to be. If the Republicans get what they want and there are no witnesses, this will be over within 10 days to 2 weeks. If there is some movement for bringing in witnesses, this can go on longer. The witnesses will have to be deposed, then they'll have to be questioned in the Senate, in front of television. So just how long this takes and how detailed this takes depends on what they're arguing about right now, which is the rules of the game which they're going to follow.
All right, Dr. Charles Zelden from Nova Southeastern, thank you very much.
Glad to be here now.
Good to have you. And as the impeachment trial of President Trump continues to unfold, stay with CBS 4 News on air and online for the very latest. We'll also have another live report tonight at 11.